So I got into some shenanigans this weekend. Might as well talk about it. What else do I do with my life? I talk about shenanigans. So, what did we even do? Saturday was the wine tour. Great time. Great time. Saturday we went to Southbrook, which is an organic and biodynamic winery. And basically, they took us around the property, showed us kind of what makes a winery organic and biodynamic, which was pretty interesting. And then we also obviously got a wine tasting. Had some great wines. Two of them were kind of like the cheap wines. They were only $15 a bottle. And they were really easy to drink. So they're kind of like you're getting drunk wines, which I appreciate because 90% of the time if I'm drinking wine, it's because I'm getting drunk and just having a really good time. One thing that I also used to really like is that two of my friends used to host wine and cheese parties, and I really miss wine and cheese parties. I think that they're a great time, and now that Sean works at Oda Kirk and Taylor, which is basically just like a cheese and meat store in Guelph, I feel that I'm really not taking advantage of that as much as I could be. I feel like I could go in there and get cheese more often. I did try a really good cheese from there. Not relevant at all. Anyway, wine and cheese parties, very good. This wine tasting, very good. Then we were off to another winery, and we stopped in Niagara, went to Nightmares, and some people went to go see the falls. And then we went to another winery called Rosewood. And it's cool because it's also an apiary, and that basically just means that they make honey as well. And we tried this honey, and it's smoked honey, which you might be like, how do they smoke it? And they told us, and I don't remember, but it was so good. Like, I don't know anybody who eats honey that often or puts it in their tea, but if I had known anybody or thought of anybody in that moment, I would have gotten them this honey for sure. It was amazing. It was so good. And I'm not one of those people who are just like, naturally, I love honey. I only really eat honey with McNuggets. And I don't know why I call them McNuggets. They're just nuggets. Chicken nuggets, realistically. But how often do I eat chicken nuggets? Rarely, because I rarely buy chicken nuggets. So that's the situation here. So I didn't get this honey. But in the future, I think I would, just because it's that good. On another note, after Saturday was Sunday. Oh, Sunday was great. I went to Target with the kids, with Becky and Jordan's kids, and we went and made shoe boxes full of toys for kids in third world countries. And it's something that we do every year. It's now a tradition of ours, and it's really fun because I would do it regardless. I would make the shoebox regardless, but I think it's nice to kind of take the kids out and do it because, number one, they choose way better toys than I would choose, just because they're kids, and we always kind of get the box for their age group and their gender, so if they like these toys, obviously another kid is going to like them as well. And we get some of the same things every year, like we get crayons and coloring books, and we get Play-Doh, things like that, and it's a lot of fun. This year, Isaiah moved up in the ranks, so we had to get some cooler toys as well. I think realistically, in future years, we might just adopt a family from Guelph, and do it like that, because like they pick out pretty quality toys, and if they're either going to go to a kid in a third world country or someone in Guelph, like, it might have more of an impact on them if they understand that it's a kid from their area who may be in their class, who might go to their school, who just kind of is less fortunate than them. This year we kind of explained it to them, we being me and Becky, or Becky and I, explained it to them like we named the kid. For Elise, her little girl's name was Maria, and for Isaiah, his little boy's name was Carlos. They were their age, and they lived in Mexico, and we just kind of had to explain that Maria and Carlos, their families don't have as much money, and so they don't have any toys, and so we had to get them toys. So at Christmas, when Isaiah and Elise got toys. These kids also got to open up some toys as well, and it was, I don't know, I think it's nice. I think it's kind of good to kind of start them off like that, and I think if I'm to have any sort of impact on children, I think that this is the impact I'd like to have. Yeah, and then Monday, Monday was the best. This is already the longest video. Steven and Jimmy came back from BC. They've actually been back for a few days at this point, but Monday's when I saw them. And we went to Woodlawn Bowl, and we went bowling, and I lost the first time, and the second time I came in third. Their sister lost. Was it their sister? Might have been Jimmy. Or I think it was their sister who lost. And it was a lot of fun. And then that night we went back to Brampton, and we did some light drinking, and we went to a shisha bar, which still makes me feel awful. Don't think I want to do that again. Don't think I want to do that again at all. But it was nice to see them. And then on Saturday, or I guess it wasn't Saturday at all. And then on Tuesday, because I slept over at their house, Steven made me breakfast, and he made this sweet cake? Oh, I forget what he called it. But he just toasted it and then put butter on it. It's probably the best ever. And we ate it with mozzarella cheese, and realistically, I thought he was crazy with this combination, but it was delicious, and so I was completely fine with it. And then we went for a walk down to the creek. He has like a little creek behind his house. But the incline to get there is basically this. And so the whole time I was convinced I was going to fall, and somehow I didn't. So that was promising. I'm very confident in my walking abilities now. Am I though? Probably not. I somehow got a cut. You can see it from this walk. How did you do it, you ask? Don't know. Probably I had to hop this, what are those things called? Log. And so I held on to one bit, and then I went to grab another bit. That bit broke, and I was like, oh no, so I did this nice swing back thing. It was mildly terrifying, but also really funny, because I didn't fall in the creek afterwards. So if I had fallen, that would have just been unfortunate all around, but luckily it ended up being funny as well. And then we ended up making it back and got back to the go bus on time, and then fell asleep on the go bus. And the only other time that I've ever fallen asleep in transit or in public was when I passed out at the Sydney airport when I was on my way home from Perth. And now it's happened twice. And I get it, because I was just so exhausted from all the fun activities of the weekend. But that was my weekend shenanigans, and I hope you had fun listening to it. Oh my god, you should probably subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed.